when Jimmie violently opened her door, and then I was like,
so scared.
she's just being loud. Let me go back to sleep. And I was like, wait, let me look at the time. And it was like 8:30, and outside was all covered in smoke. And I was like, not have an SD card. Rip.
Tragic.
Hello. Welcome back to the Hags Podcast, episode 26.
26. What is
We're back with a brand new episode, second new episode of the year. Welcome.
I thought that song was hitting Eminem with the 2 trailer parks go around me outside, or whatever that is.
I fear that would definitely get us a copyright strike, so.
Yeah.
Dude, that was very loud in my headphones. I'm like yelling at myself.
This song is called Good Energy.
Good energy.
Because I felt
All
like
right, we need it.
The world needed it.
Yeah.
So, what's been going on? We've had a rough start to this new year.
Oh, really?
Everyone, if you're not aware, I don't know how, of the Los Angeles fires that are still happening. They're
Currently
getting better, but they are still happening.
We got rain yesterday, though.
Yeah, we did. 2 days of rain, almost.
The first day was a sprinkle. Oh my god.
Hey,
yeah, a sprinkle
is something. It's mist in the air.
But that little sprinkle, it sprinkled for a solid 2 minutes, and we lost power. So,
Oh my.
California is not built for this. I don't know what's happening, but y'all need to chill down. Chill out. Chill down. I don't fucking know anymore.
Chill down, chill out, chill up, whatever. Chill it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so...
Oh, you go.
It's complicated with the rain because if you get too much, there's gonna be crazy mudslides. But you need the rain.
And our roommate was saying the reason why the fire has gotten so bad this year is because we've had so much rain over the past couple of years that there's been so much growth. So in this year, and none of it was cut down and it was dead, and this year wasn't as wet as last year, so it had a lot of fodder to burn.
Yeah, they haven't cleaned brush in a long time. There's 20 years of buildup of brush.
Yeah. It was so crazy. When it first started happening on Tuesday, 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 or 3 weeks ago?
It was
3.
When we recorded when we recorded the last episode, it was 12 hours later.
Yeah. So me and Emily went to a birthday party, and when we drove out to the birthday party in North Hollywood, the winds were so bad, it was moving the car. I was afraid to be on the road because I thought a branch was going to come through the windshield because the winds were moving the trees so violently. And even the side road signs and some of the things are still so warped from the high powered winds. When we evacuated on Wednesday, we left, and the Watch Duty app, which literally everybody in LA was using that app, but it was almost on the hour there was a new fire. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. I've never experienced anything like that. And I don't think LA has. I think this is unprecedented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're common, but not like this.
Yeah.
Especially how far into Los Angeles these fires went.
And a lot of them were arson.
Allegedly.
Which is wild.
Yeah,
There's
allegedly.
I have my crime app and it notifies me, and all I've gotten for the past 3 weeks are notifications of person caught trying to start fire. And I'm like, how? Why? Are y'all dumb? I
don't know what's wrong with people.
We were at a movie theater, and we were leaving the parking garage, and there were teenagers at the top of the garage, they lit a fire in the garage.
Yeah. They're just starting fires.
Mother
I don't
Nature
think that was
doing...
an intentional fire, but they were just being stupid.
They shouldn't be doing that.
No, I'm not. No, I agree.
Happening.
I agree. But it's a mess.
Mother Nature's done enough. We don't need to.
I know.
Risk anymore.
Agreed. And we could put the silver hat on, but I just feel it doesn't matter. It happened, and I think the city needs to be more equipped to handle this.
Yeah. tens of thousands of people lost their homes and were displaced, and it's just horrific no matter how they started.
Agreed. And what's even more horrific is like so many people couldn't get insurance, and so many people like still can't. Like you had to be grandfathered into policies to have the fire coverage. So it's just, oh my gosh, it's awful.
And then even when you could get it, they charge you an insane amount. So it's like having a second mortgage.
It is. It's so
Who can
expensive.
afford that?
No one. No one.
It's insane. And like so many fire coverages, like mine specifically, it only covers a fire if you start the fire. Like
same.
It had to be arson. Like if our place burned down, I would like have to somehow say, oh my god, I accidentally set the apartment complex on fire. Rebuild it now for me. Like it doesn't cover wildfires, which is crazy.
Yeah. They would lose too much money.
Yeah.
Which is messed up because it's people's livelihood. The South has the same issue with hurricanes. It's just ridiculous.
I know. It's awful. Yeah, I agree. It's awful. Ugh, it's so awful. Yeah. But we're safe and we're fine. So we feel very lucky and grateful.
Yeah. Just a stressful month. Literally, we were back from our evacuation for 20 minutes, and that was when the accidental notification for everyone to evacuate went out to all of LA County, and we were like, we just drove 3 hours back, and you're telling us we have to re-evacuate again? And then like 10 minutes later, they sent out a note saying, sorry, that was an accident. Only to these certain parts that did not include us. And I was like, how do you just accidentally notify an entire county that spans across the whole state to evacuate? Like, that's wild.
That should not happen.
Dude, I
know.
When I was in college, they accidentally sent out an active shooter notification to the entire student body, staff, and faculty.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Dang, girl.
Like, who did that?
Fired.
Who did that?
Dang. That meme where the guy's like sweating, pressing the button.
Yeah, it's just someone out there pushing buttons at this point.
Yeah, that's
wild.
They should have more checks and balances on these notifications, on these alerts.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
An "Are you sure?" button.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Is there not already?
Area?
The entire county. Are you sure? Do they need to?
Yeah, that is so crazy. That is so crazy.
Hopefully.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, the rain I think has helped. So thank God for some rain. I hope. It was nice. Me and Emily were driving, and the mountains are snow-capped again. They haven't been snow-capped. And I don't know. I mean, this is my first like winter here, so I don't really know when that typically happens. But when we moved here, they were snow-capped. And now it's there's snow on the top of them, so it's pretty.
That's nice. When I was there last April, there was snow on some of them.
Right? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I think the weather says it's going to rain again. Nope. No, I've lied. Nope. Dang.
Yeah. That was a wild thing to live through.
Yeah.
I almost slept through our evacuation, low-key. I was knocked out so badly, like the night before, everyone was like, keep your phones on, do not put them on do not disturb, volume
That's
up.
What I said.
Yeah, you and Hodon were saying that, and I was like, yeah, totally, I'll do that. And I went to bed, immediately hit do not disturb, did not set a single alarm, which I have never done. And I was passed out. Like I woke up at 8:30 when Jimmie violently opened her door, and then I was like, so she's just being loud, let me go back to sleep. And I was like, wait, let me look at the time, and it was like 8:30, and outside was all covered in smoke, and I was like, Jesus, I genuinely like I had a meeting at 9 and I almost slept through it, and I woke up to probably 50 missed texts of people being like, are you okay, are you safe? And I was like, is this a problem? Are we in danger? And even my boss was like, she was the first person to text me at like 5 a.m. before I was even halfway alive. And she was like, be careful, evacuate, do what you need, don't work. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. This is like serious.
It was it moved so fast. Like the fire moved
Mhm.
so fast.
Yeah. Because we
Yeah,
like
it's,
went
like,
to
hard to
sleep and we were
fathom.
like, yeah, we were like, we're not gonna be affected. And I still packed a
Yeah.
bag because I'm just overly prepared. And then we woke up and it was like within 1 hour of being awake, we were like out and evacuated.
Yeah. What was that fire that happened last week at the school? That started around the school? It's
Oh,
like
I
up
don't know.
in north.
Oh,
of-
yeah.
above
It
Santa Clarita.
Yeah, it literally grew 50 acres to
Fast.
what, 5,000 acres in a couple
Within
hours?
like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it
I
was
think.
crazy.
Maybe it
So
was
scary.
50 to 500 within 30 minutes. But yeah, it was like
Yeah.
at 5,000 within a day. Like it was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
and like
move
going to
fast, so you
sleep.
gotta,
Yeah.
Don't
Going
do
to
that
sleep with
again.
a fire next to you is crazy. Yeah. The
never
phone will be
again.
on.
Well,
When I moved to Huntsville because of the tornadoes, I had my weather app override any do not disturb settings.
yeah.
Okay, the one thing I did do, I put you and Hodan to override, but that was not enough to wake me up. So
It was the door.
I would have been sleeping. I would have slept through our evacuation if you hadn't swung that door open. I would still be
No,
asleep.
I was freaked out. I
Yeah.
was freaked out when I looked out my window. I was
Yeah.
like, this looks
As you should be.
apocalyptic.
Yeah.
It's
I was so
terrifying.
deep in dreamland. I was like, why is she freaking out anyways? And then I remembered that I went to sleep with a fire next to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. Chaos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better things ahead.
Agreed.
I hope.
Before we move on to happy news, though, we have to talk about David Lynch. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Besides being an iconic filmmaker who explored surrealism and dreamlike filmmaking, revolutionary, I'd have to point out that he brought the second large film to the Wilmington, North Carolina film industry in the 80s. De Laurentiis brought Firestarter, and then the next big film to come to Wilmington was Blue Velvet.
Yep.
And
huge.
When I worked at the movie studio there back in the day, we had Blue Velvet posters everywhere, and yeah, he meant like a lot to that community because of what grew from that, and is still there.
Yeah, I love his like creativity. Will always like art is for self-expression and not consumption. You know, like create to learn the inner parts of yourself. And I think as artists, sometimes we can forget that because you have to also equally have that like business savvy to progress. And it was just like refreshing. I was watching so many of his interviews and like his like daily weather updates that he would like put on his YouTube channel. Yeah, and it was almost like a reset. It was like, wait, I'm doing this. I'm in this career to make things like this. Like I'm doing this to, you know, like unleash this part of me that wants to tell something to other people. And it's so easy to get stuck into the minutia of, oh, this is what you need to do for marketing, and this is what you need to do to like really optimize your like film. It's just to just get stuck in that is it takes away some of the reasons why you joined this, why you wanted to be a storyteller to begin with. And yeah, really, I think everybody in the film industry was really upset and has been bummed, and is very affected by the loss of David.
Yeah, it was only like, I don't know how many episodes ago. I think it was in the fall when you talked about Eraserhead, right?
Yeah, we talked about micro budgets and like how to I don't remember what the topic was, but we were essentially just talking about like micro budget films and how successful they are, and Eraserhead was one of them. I think that was the first one we went with.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because it was $100,000 budget, and it is the things that he does, like the way that he pushes the envelope in practical effects and like just being creative with camera angles and like prop use. Like it's just brilliant. It's really innovative for what it was and when the time that it came out. I mean, even if it came out now, it'd be really innovative. But
yeah, especially the commitment because it took so
the
long.
commitment, because it took 5 years. Yeah.
And like the lead actor had to keep getting the same haircut and continuity. Just so many things to think about when you're shooting for that span of time.
Yeah.
On the same project.
Yeah. He was so committed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like what you said though about the creativity reset.
Because I like, it's hard. It's hard. You get stuck in this, and we're going to talk about this in this episode, but we're like building our campaign for our feature film, and it's so much like we're trying to learn how to market it in a way that will make sense online and push the campaign. And there are creative elements in that, but you have to be like business savvy, and like sometimes that can exhaust the creative storytelling that you just like you just want to like tell a story, and then the thought of like having to do all of these pieces just to have the story be told is exhausting. So
especially in indie filmmaking, and doing what we do, direct, produce, and act. Like there's a lot going on in your brain.
I know
but
love that man.
Rest in peace to David Lynch, who looked like my grandfather.
He looked like my uncle.
Really?
Yes, and his name is David.
Odd.
They look identical. Yeah.
Huh.
I've thought that my whole life. I'm like, that man looks like David Lynch.
Interesting. Any other life updates you guys want to talk about? How's clown class going? Oh.
I have class tonight. It's very scary. It's very hard. Every week, I think I've got this. I'm going to be less scared, and I'm more scared. But Emily met some of my classmates last Thursday. We went to this like experimental improv clown show, and I got to find out that they were all equally as scared. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's not just me. Like one girl was like, after she gets done with class, she just drives home and she's like, don't think about it, don't think about it, don't think about it, repressed. And it's just like, it's scary.
You're not alone.
I know. My teacher was like, this is the hardest form of performance. He's like, this is scarier than anything. And if you can do this, you can be comfortable with anything. Because like you don't do exercises with people, you do it alone. Everything you do alone, and you do it with an audience, and you do it with on a stage, and you do it with the teacher antagonizing you to like get you to be uncomfortable. And you're on stage for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like it's not like a couple seconds. Like you're on there for a while. So it's just scary, but I'm committing and following through. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Very good. I found out there's a horse farm like right close by to where I'm moving, and they do adult riding classes, so I think I'm gonna do it.
You and Emily.
Yeah.
When you come to LA, we need to go.
Yes.
Together. We're gonna be horse girls.
I'll film.
Yeah.
You gotta get up there, Jimmie.
No,
you can do it.
I can't.
Face your fears.
So scared.
If you can clown, you can go on a trail ride.
As long as my
fears
horse
are
walks.
valid. Yeah. The fears of horseback riding are very valid, and they've crossed my mind. You've gotta want to do it and love the art more than your fear.
See, yes, that's rational. But when you have anxiety and you're scared, it's hard to tell yourself that.
Yeah, I've turned my brain off.
I grew up around horses. I mean,
I love horses.
As you all can have heard on this podcast, considering I saw a cow give birth next to my mother's house. So I don't know, I've never been scared of horses, but I get it.
Yeah, my whole family grew up horseback riding. Like my grandma had horses, so like I know everything, and I know the horror stories and also the good parts.
Don't tell me.
I was about to say something
that
happened growing up, but I'm going to not.
Yeah, no, I've heard it all, and I had long conversations about them over Christmas break about everything that could go wrong, and they were like, "Yep, that could happen," and I'm like, "Okay." I'm gonna forget you said that, and I'm gonna go because I want to be a horse girl.
Yeah, see, I'm traumatized because my horse like tried to buck me off, and like I was screaming because I just reacted poorly, which made the horse more scared. And it was just like, ever since that, I just, and I literally didn't get back on the horse. I got off that horse and I walked me and that horse, one by one, beside each other, walked a mile back to the stable. And I was like,
it's scary.
Take this horse. I'm going home. Like,
yeah, it's scary, but I'm excited. I'm only scared about a rattlesnake encounter because horses do not react well.
Ooh, yeah, I won't have to worry about that up in Jersey.
I will. Yeah, I will not be taking a horse out on our Malibu trail.
No,
bad idea.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Imagine Jimmie on a horse encountering a rattlesnake.
The way I would die.
Yeah. Just give up then.
Yeah, the way I would have a heart attack. The way, no.
I would be hopped off the horse trying to help, and you would be screaming, making it worse.
No, you would be like, Jimmie, shut up.
Literally. I'd be like, chill out. If you don't panic, they won't panic.
When I had to pull you past the rattlesnake in Malibu the second time we saw one, I felt like I was in a life or death situation with like how tight you were holding my hand.
I was so scared. Alex was like, you gotta go right now.
Yeah. Me and Alex were already on the other side. Y'all were stuck there.
I wasn't gonna leave her.
The way Emily was unfazed.
That's nice of you. I almost stepped on it.
The first one, yeah, you did. We're like, Emily! And then you went closer to the snake.
Yeah, I went around and said, what? And y'all said, snake! And I said, where? And I looked down and I was like, oh.
So scared.
You're lucky he had just had a little snack. You could tell because his stomach was big.
Yeah, I would have been his snack.
No, you would have.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway.
I got my horseback riding boots, so now my whole horse fit is complete.
That's exciting.
I know, it's actually really cute. I'm gonna drop, I can like send you the footage.
Yes.
Her outfit's cute.
Yeah, my pants have grippy horseshoes on it.
I know.
Aww.
Yeah. My boots don't fit yet because, well, actually, my mom called this. She said my whole life that I have stocky German calves. And when I was looking for horseback riding boots, she was like, those aren't going to fit because of your stocky German calves. And I was like, I don't think it's that bad. Like, I have twigs for legs. And she was like, you have stocky German calves. And then the boots came. And they hardly zipped up. Like, Jimmie had to pull it up. And I was like, oh my God.
I feel like there's a nicer way of saying that.
This is Emily's legs.
Literally.
The way my arm is her leg size. And her mom's like, you have big calves. I'm like,
that's crazy.
The size of my arm.
Yeah.
Stocky.
I know, that's all she's been saying. And then I was showing her my boots on FaceTime, and then my dad walked in, and she was like, oh, show him your new boots. And then she looks at him and goes, they didn't fit because of her stocky German calves. And I'm like, what is up with these stocky German calves?
Damn.
She's projecting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's not even German. My dad's side is German. She has some beef with us.
Actually, you got those legs from your dad.
Yeah.
Not from me, girl.
Yeah.
I would
literally
never.
Imagine, like, Emily is a very small human. Everyone knows that. Imagine, like, my leg trying to go in those boots. Like,
my leg, too. Like, girl. My arm may not even fit.
Yeah. It's crazy. I had to buy a calf stretcher. Yeah, it's rough.
Did that work?
It hasn't come yet. It's coming on Wednesday, but I've been like cramming my leg into it, and I've gotten them to zip up just very tight, and I've been wearing them for like 30 minutes a day, and I think it's helping.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But I bought a stretcher thing and then the spray to make it stretch. So they should be fine.
Good.
Maybe they're kind of like point shoes, you know, you have to like mold them to your foot.
I think you do, because it's leather.
Yeah, and that's what everyone's been saying. Like, you have to break them in. They are from the kids section because they don't make women's shoes in my size. But, like, the foot fits perfectly, and I am the size of a 12-year-old. So I think it's just a boot thing that they have to stretch. And it's not because I apparently have stocky German calves, whatever that means, that I don't have.
Yeah, no, I think you just have to break them in.
Yeah.
The stocky German calves is so crazy.
It fed my mom's ego.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Not from me. From your father.
She won.
I just realized that I think this is the last time I will be filming the podcast in this location. So that's exciting.
For New York. Come on. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing we can do. Now we're in New York.
I mean, you sound so good, we might get a copyright strike. So,
I think so.
You sound a little too close to the song.
I think so. But that's very exciting, and I literally am so excited for you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Whenever you move in, you have to send us a video.
Yes.
I want to see the place. I want to see Daisy walking around in her new little place. I'm so excited. She's gonna
be very excited.
I know.
She could be an only dog again.
I know.
Thank God.
So excited.
She's so spoiled. But yeah, very exciting. So
that is really exciting.
If you liked this wall, sorry, audience. No more.
Sorry,
no more beige
She's
wall.
Gonna have a different wall now.
Watch it be the same color. I don't remember what color it is.
It doesn't look any different.
Oh yeah. Also, the day this podcast episode drops is the same day You're Cordially Invited drops on Amazon Prime, starring our friend Krishna. She's not the lead, but she's our star. Okay.
She's in the trailer. Okay, T. And whenever we got done watching our movie last night at the theater, there it was, the billboard of it. Like, girl, that is crazy. We're so proud of her.
And when I was watching the Chiefs-Bills game last night, the AFC Championship, which tens of millions of people watch, Krishna's trailer came on, and I screeched. I was like, "Oh, look, it's Krishna!"
That's so cool. Oh my God, that's so cool. Yeah, dude, I'm so happy for her. I cannot wait to see it.
Yes, we need to bring her on to talk about her experience.
Oh my God, I can't wait to hear. Yes.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
After you're done listening to this, go to Amazon Prime and watch You're Cordially Invited. She plays Will Ferrell's mother-in-law. You'll see her. Yeah,
you will. Acting her heart out.
Cool. Anything else before we jump into the main topic?
I gotta say something. Okay, guys, I'll be quick. She's like, oh God. Okay, I'll keep it brief. Under 3. And I'll watch the timer. Okay. So I have seen The Brutalist twice. It is my top movie of 2024. Adrian Brody, just everything. The film is absolutely incredible. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to talk about the AI, the smear campaign that people are saying about this film. And AI is very controversial because, yes, AI should not be taking the jobs of other creatives. Like when you have a Warner Brothers or like a Paramount using AI to replace people's jobs, that is not okay. But caveat, if you are an indie filmmaker, okay, you're an indie filmmaker, your budget is $6 million, like The Brutalist was, and it's an epic. A $6 million epic is quite literally unheard of. That is an amazing feat, people. The brutalism is a type of architecture, and they did not have the funds to build those buildings that the main character was building. And they also did not have the funds to employ special effects like VFX artists. Okay. So like when people are mad about AI being used in The Brutalist, I'm like, okay, well, studios didn't back this film. These people used their money to make and produce this story. And it's like AI can be a tool for indie filmmakers that don't have resources that other massive production houses have. So it just like really, it ignites, like it just makes me so mad when people get upset when you're using this. I think, yes, if you're taking a job away, that's not okay. But if you're using it to aid a story and to help you complete a film, I think it's a really powerful tool. And it does open a lot of debate and conversation. But I just like people discrediting the film because AI was used just really makes me mad. And yes, I know it was also used on the accent, but the accent, it was only used on certain letters and vowel consonant pairings, because a Hungarian accent is hard and it would be inhuman for a person to perfect the accent. Okay? It doesn't take away from the acting. It just keeps the integrity of the project and the story. So I just I don't know. I think people should do a little bit more research and have a little bit more understanding for filmmakers that are pouring their heart and their money and their time into their projects. And when they aren't getting studio backings to make these films, they've got to do it themselves and they've got to be scrappy. And AI is a tool that allows them to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any new technology coming into an industry is going to spark controversy.
Absolutely.
I mean, think about it. Before we had CGI, everything had to be built by production design and carpenters and other crew members. And then we have CGI artists coming in who do the CGI now, taking away quote unquote jobs from the carpenters and the designers. Yeah. But it's also giving them a job. And then the people who work on the AI and do that are also doing a job. Yeah. So whether or not should AI be used to replace actors and screenwriters, etc.?
No.
Absolutely not. That is totally different.
Totally
completely different conversation.
Yeah.
Using it used as a tool for people who are already doing the job is not replacing someone. So
and it was used total 2 to 3 minutes the entire 3-hour 25-minute movie, like a minuscule amount in comparison to what the movie was.
Yeah, it's complicated.
It's complicated, but it just makes me mad. I've just heard a lot of discourse about people discrediting the movie because of the AI that was used. And it just makes me so mad because it didn't get a $200 million budget to make the film. And it's just people.
Yeah, they couldn't be like Wicked and build entire
it's not an IP that people are willing to put money behind. This is like a story that is more risky to production houses, so they're not going to fund it.
And we need more stories like that.
Exactly. And
where this story proves compromise.
That.
Where do we compromise and let a little go?
Absolutely.
Not even let it go, just accept it as what it is.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, it's very complicated.
It's very complicated. I had to say it, and I just want to say, I said all my spiel in under 3 minutes. So,
very good job.
Thank you.
You were timing it.
I was.
I wasn't even looking.
I was. Just to close up the AI thing. Yeah, I think Cheyenne ended it. I think what you said was completely true. And I think this movie, and I think same with Everything Everywhere All at Once, like movies that are given a minuscule amount of money and make something so insanely like this massive feat, like an epic or like a multiverse, like very heavily what are those things? What is it called? I can't think of the name of it. It's not a kung fu movie. It's like a multiverse, very practical effect heavy film. And it's just exciting to see these stories like get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah. I think in like 20 years when we look back on this, people will have very different opinions.
Yeah. That's how it always is. Like the hot takes that people have and like they're kind of subversive and people are afraid to touch it. In 20, 30 years, it's like, oh wait, that's right. That person's right.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into our main topic, which is building our crowdfunding campaign, which is going to be launching soon. I'm not going to give a date.
We're not giving a date.
Okay, guys. Learned last year, don't give a date until we know for sure. But it will be soon.
It will be soon. We have been working on this crowdfunding campaign, guys, Since October of 2023. August.
August, yeah, that's like when we started planning for the trailer shoot. I cannot believe we've been sitting on all this footage for a year and a half.
I know.
And it's so... Well, we'll let
When
the people decide. But
when the clip dropped of Emily, literally I had so many people coming up to me being like, that was so good. That was so good. Emily's so good. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, Emily's really good. But like still like, I mean, like they were just like that was really, really good. So
yeah, they were like surprised, and I'm like,
I know, like, girl, what
do y'all think
people
are doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, thanks.
I got an excellent actor in the clip, an excellent team, and an excellent editor who was me.
Yeah.
So. That editing popped off. It was so good. Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course it was good. People.
Yeah, of course. What the fuck? Yeah.
But yeah, so much excitement coming, but we want to talk about building this campaign specifically, and let's start with why we chose Seed and Spark.
Yeah. I think we can all agree Seed and Spark, I think personally, and I know Cheyenne and Emily probably feel the same way, is the best crowdfunding site for filmmakers, especially independent filmmakers, because they have every resource you need to make a successful campaign. It's specifically for filmmakers. And when you are working on your campaign, you do it in tandem with somebody on the Seed and Spark team. So they help you build your campaign. They won't let you launch until they think it's perfected. And they set you up for success. And the people that they're benefactors. What are the people that give the money? Beneficiaries?
Donors,
whatever. There are people that invest in indie filmmakers, and they do it through Seed and Spark. So they'll go and they'll look at
you mean like the Mark Duplass's?
Yes, the Mark Duplass's. Like filmmakers that are giving back after they've had success. To indie filmmakers, they specifically go to Seed and Spark, and they will invest and promote certain campaigns that they like.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. I think if you're, I think it really, you got to like figure out what works best for you. But I think Seed and Spark is the best to crowdfund for an indie feature.
Yeah. And I've just known so many people personally who have used Seed and Spark and got the attention of like literally the Duplass brothers, with Drought, Hannah Black and Megan Peterson made that film and got EP'd by the Duplass brothers because and through Seed and Spark. And then Christy Ray and Erica Edwards at Honeyhead raised, I don't remember the exact amount, but it was like, it was like almost $80,000.
Yeah.
And they made their film and it changed their lives. And the success rate really just speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And like, just to hype us up a little bit, I feel like the amount of work we put into our projects, especially this, matches the energy that Seed and Spark gives to the people that use their site. So I feel like it's an excellent partnership that's setting us up for success.
I think that's a very important note people should take. And let me reiterate, you have to match you got to match that energy from the people trying to help you. Like you got to be willing to go in and do the work equally to be successful. Yeah. Well put.
Yes.
What have we learned so far? Girl.
To not announce a launch date.
True.
Yeah.
We certainly learned that.
Girl, I feel like we have a Rolodex of things we've learned over the past year and a half. I just got to say, I'm going to say this real quick. We, almost a year ago, is in April, Cheyenne's birthday. And we've said this so many times, but like we were trying to think of our producers like statements and like talk about the project. And it's not that we didn't have our finger on the pulse. Like we knew exactly what we were doing, but it's hard to speak of it in a way that is concise and it's going to lure people in and it hits all the points.
And that's just easy for other people to understand.
Yeah. And we just were staring at each other blankly. because we were just so inundated. And like I would say something off the cuff, wouldn't make sense. It was word vomit. And then Emily and Cheyenne were, and it was like, and then I was, and it was,
a disaster.
It's just really, it was a disaster, but it's like we allowed ourselves to fail a lot. I mean, we did it with one another, like during this campaign process, and it really helped us like re-guide us every time. Like we would fail really hard. And sometimes the failure like was us pursuing things that didn't make sense for us, or us trying to navigate relationships. It's just like so many things. And it has just helped us like realign and point us in the right direction to stay focused on this campaign and what's important in the campaign.
Yeah. At the end of every year, I don't know how long I've been doing this. I write down every single memory from the year that I felt was important or had purpose. And I literally wrote about us sitting in AGAS, like trying to get the words out and us failing. It was such a pivotal moment in our journey to building this campaign.
I remember Alex was there and he was just like walking circles like these girls. Like he would be like, hey, maybe say this. Maybe let's do it this way. And then like he would guide and it was still not working. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like sweating profusely.
We're running out of
nervous
time
around you guys. Like I just was like, I don't know. Yeah.
Because we had shot that at my apartment in Huntsville in
2
December.
times.
I forgot about that one.
And we had finally gotten to something and we're like, okay, that was good. And then we were like, no, we got to redo it. So it was just like so months and months of this back and forth. But it led to us landing to where we are now. So it worked out.
Thank God. Yeah.
We really just had to, Jimmie, what you did with us, that exercise.
Yeah.
That was the turning point, I think.
I agree.
Wait, what exercise?
Remember we had to go through and like, it was like the first, we had to brain dump how we felt. And then we had to go back and like give it a word. It was like what hag is, like what hag means to us, like what is against us. Yeah. So we basically all got together. We set a timer, like 10 minutes, and we had to like go and brain dump all of these answers. And then we set another timer, I think for like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. And then we had to take that brain dump and allow it to just be certain words. So when we were building out the campaign, we had like what does against us mean to us? Like, what does it mean to the audience that are watching against us? What is hag? Like, what's the pillars of hag? And that just really helped us really solidify all of this.
Yeah. It was stuff we already knew, but it organized it and allowed us to articulate in multiple ways how to relay the information.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was really helpful.
It is. I still use it all the
Beyond
time.
helpful.
Yeah. I still go back to that document all the time.
When I'm I feel like that also pulled the question out of us, without giving too much away about our campaign, about why hag makes horror films. And that's been a consistent theme. I don't think we were really digging into that before.
No.
And it's a valid question for people who are going to give us money.
Yep. Yeah. I want to talk on that, but I kind of feel like
we got to save that.
Yeah, I'm going to save it. Yeah.
Yeah. In the next few episodes.
We can do that.
We'll probably be able to talk about
we can do it during the campaign. Talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why is now the perfect time? I feel like we kind of explained that already.
I feel like now is always the perfect time for anyone, but it's because we just failed so much and kept getting back up and failed and kept getting back up. And it's like, okay. And every time we got back up, we learned and we like positioned ourselves better. And now we're just in the most like opportune time to jump on and move this forward. Yeah.
Now we're ready. I don't know if like it's necessarily that we failed. It's just we genuinely weren't ready, and things will come together when it's supposed to at the time that you're ready for it to happen. Because like if we would have kept pushing through everything and not reading like we're exhausted, this isn't the time, like we don't have the resources, we don't have the time to do this, and we still would have tried to shoot it in October, it would have literally been hell on earth and nothing good would have come out of it. Like it kind of just the events push you to the time where you are ready to take on something at full capacity and execute it well.
Yeah. That's the universe working its magic.
Completely right. Don't call it a failure, people.
I also think with you all moving last year just was not...
No.
First of all, it wasn't feasible, and you all just needed to get settled and find your space and your routine and just transition into that.
Yeah.
Will I be moving during this campaign prep? Yes. But I am different because I have moved 50 times, and it's kind of like, I don't know. It's also not as far. You all had to go across the country.
And it was 2 out of 3 of the team. That's kind of a lot to lose.
Yes.
Yes. And I think we just didn't have the best start of it. The year.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
There was
and
a lot of
pushing
stress.
through to burnout is bad.
Yeah.
And like right before you all moved, we were already so burnt out from 2023. And we all got the chance in 2024. Granted, there were some hiccups and stresses, etc., but we had the chance to recover from that. Thank God.
Yeah, last year we did. I've been like trying to figure out like what went so wrong with last year just because it wasn't like a year that I've ever experienced. And I'm like, I figured it out. I was like, 2022 was a very bad year for me. I never recovered from any of that. Immediately jumped into 2023, went full head on strong with literally everything on the face of the earth. Like we did a million projects that year. And then immediately 2024 hit and I was packing my car to move across the country. And I feel like I moved, changed my whole life, and everything just built up into 1 year. And it was just like extremely overwhelming to like levels that I didn't understand were like happening, and like how the buildup of like not processing things from like years past like all built up to one moment where like it just became unmanageable.
Yeah.
Which is not good to be running on.
No, and it was your first time leaving, like leaving your house, which I think I've talked about the Shithouse movie we've talked about it on Hag, but like the movie is basically about how hard it is to leave the nest. Like, and people like they're pillars in your life where you have to experience a lot of uncomfortable growth and a lot of like figuring out who you are and stepping out into the world, and leaving your house for the first time is very hard. Like people like kind of forget it, but it's very hard.
Oh, I did not forget that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't either. I struggled way more than Emily did. Like I was really struggling.
When I moved out, I was 100% ready to go and needed to go, even though I was 18. But like, maybe I should cut that.
That's how I felt too, though. And then like it unfolded that maybe I was wrong.
No, that's how everybody feels.
Wrong.
You're like ready to leave, but it's
I
just
was right
scary.
to leave. I just didn't realize like the emotions that would come with it, because like I had a chaotic life, so I was like, I don't care to leave this place in the slightest. And then it just became crazy.
Even when you're in a sticky or not ideal circumstance in your home, leaving for the first time and like changing environments like that is still very jarring, even if it is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Your nervous system is operating. It's been operating this way for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
Your body has been accustomed to live in this home, chaotic or not chaotic. So when you're removing yourself and creating a new environment for yourself, your body is 18 years of that. Your body can't handle that, and your nervous system is like all out of whack. Like
and I was
on top of figuring out bills and switching insurances and buying condiments. I warned you about the condiments before you left.
I know
Literally.
That it's so much to buy, things you don't think about.
I was just dropped into another chaotic place, and it was weird because I've also lived here before, so it just felt like I was returning to like a childhood part of me that was like dead. And I was like, it was kind of jarring to like just drive through like where I used to live and like go places that I used to go when I was like so little. And like I hadn't been back to LA since I was like 5, outside of the time that we visited like 2 years ago or something. And like it was just so weird. I was like, I've never like returned to a place before that I lived when I was a kid that I remembered. And like that was just a very weird thing to go through and be like, wow, I'm here. Because like I moved to LA in 2004. So I literally moved back to LA exactly 20 years from the first time that I lived there. And it was like the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
And also
really
the
weird.
ecosystem is like the closest that I've seen to like Australia, and like I remember everything about Australia, and like it's such a warm, cozy place in my mind of like memories and like everything I gained from that, and just like their culture is something that, like, has stuck with me my whole life, and like I've never been able to see it again or see anything that slightly resembles it because it's so unique, especially like where I lived in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like the like desert and mountains here, and like especially in Malibu, I'm like that's the first time that I've like seen something since leaving Australia that felt like Australia again. Like it's just crazy to experience.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So there's so much nostalgia in that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like that's why I just like to go to Malibu and just like look and sit for days on end, because I'm like it feels like I'm back in Australia where I want to be back so badly, but who has the money for that? That's a $5,000 ticket
just to get there.
Yeah, just to get there.
Yeah. So doing this campaign and then going through with the film during major transitional periods for both of you and me,
all of us,
because
all of us.
I've been staying with my mom, which is very jarring for my nervous system as well. It just didn't, the stars did not align for us in that one, which is good and fine, which is why now is the perfect time for us to do it.
I'm literally so excited for you. I want you, do you like bagels?
I love bagels.
I want you
if they weren't so high in calories, I would eat a bagel every day.
Dude, when you get there and you have your first bagel, like New Jersey bagel, New York bagel, I want you to send me a photo. Like I will. Oh my God. Emily, have you ever had like a proper bagel from New York?
No.
Girl, when we go visit, we're going. It's like, it's so
I can't
good.
wait. I've seen videos of it.
There's nothing compares. The consistency, like I can't get that bagel consistency anywhere other than New York.
There's a famous pizza place in the town we're moving to, and there's a famous deli in the town we're moving to, and there's a hiking trail walking distance with like a little waterfall. And I love water. Living in Huntsville was very weird for me because
there's no water.
There's some like up on the quote unquote mountain. But sometimes it's dried up if it hasn't rained enough. I grew up next to like a giant creek. Like I could walk there right now. And I was so close to the bay and the beach, and then I lived in Wilmington and then going to Huntsville. Anyway, my point is I'm happy to be back on the coast and to have access to like a little creek and hiking, but it's also walkable, and I can walk to the train station and literally go to New York City.
That's so nice.
It's just like a dream come true. Knock on wood.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you, dude.
I'm sure there's gonna be downsides. Fully aware, cost of living, etc. But
it's like that anywhere. I mean, honest to God, you're gonna be spending money like that in Huntsville. Like,
yeah. And like living in a good area is always gonna cost more. Like living in Carroll County where my mom lives. It costs more. And like this is a nice area with nice schools. It's just the way it is. It's going to be more expensive than living in the middle of Wyoming, which may be beautiful. There's not much there.
Nope. When you're young, you don't have children. Like you gotta have the experiences and do these things. You know what I mean? Like,
and honestly, where we're moving has 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10 school system.
See, there
scores.
You go.
So it's like,
there you go.
Even when we get there, this might be the place.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
Need to make a little more money.
So exciting. Hey, you will. Hags bringing it in.
Yes.
Listen, give it time.
It's on the way.
It's on the way.
But I don't know why I went on a tangent about water.
No, I think water's like, I feel when I'm in the sun, I feel rejuvenated. And like, and sometimes I feel that by the water, but Emily definitely, like, she talks all the time about like going to the beach, and I have appreciated the beach more since moving here. But like, don't you feel like brought back to life when you're by the water?
100%. Like, literally, I went to the beach a lot of times this month because it was a terrible month and I just needed to sit there. And I literally got in the water because it genuinely just brings you back to life. Like, no matter how cold it is, like, you need to be one with the earth. I need to go stand in the ocean. I need to sit on the sand. I need to go stand in the middle of nowhere desert. I need to go on a hike. You need to be connected. Touch grass. It brings you back to life.
In between Christmas and New Year's, so one of those days, who knows, me, my sister-in-law, and Alex went to, like, literally 5 minutes down the road, there's a hiking trail with a giant, it's not a river, but it's, like, bigger than a creek. We went hiking there, and we all took our shoes off and got in the water. And it was freezing. It's so nice. But it was necessary.
Yeah. Reconnect. Yeah.
As hippie as it sounds, it's true.
I know.
It's true. No,
that's the one hippie part of me.
True. The woo stuff.
It works.
It works out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only sad thing, though, is that I did go to the beach after the fires, and I went to Point Doom, which is, I think, 8 miles from where the nearest fire hit, the Palisades one that made it into Malibu, and there was so much burnt wood just washed up on the sand. And, like, there was even, like, a whole staircase, and, like, there were full-on chairs and tables. Like, it traveled the whole way, and I'm like, it's so sad to just, like, see that, and then also just think about all the damage now that it's done to the ocean as well. And, all the scared little fishies. Just seeing giant things float around in their ecosystem with toxins and lead and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so much. Like, the environment, the firefighters, breathing in so much.
And it's crazy because, like, nobody really even knows what was burned. Because if these buildings are 40, 50, 60 years old, there's lead in those buildings. Like, you just have no idea what's in the air. Which is very scary.
Yeah, and, like, so many people have been saying, like, this whole month they've had, like, headaches and sore throats. And I'm like, I have too. This entire month. I even bought an air purifier, and my throat is still, like, severely sore every morning I wake up. So, like, there's stuff floating around. It's not good.
It's scary.
It is scary.
Anyone who lives in Los Angeles and has asthma, I've been thinking about you.
Yeah, one of our friends literally had to leave, and she's in, like, downtown LA, which is, like, far from the fires, and it was so bad, like, just the air, even stuff you can't see, that she literally had to leave LA.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
I know.
Oh, that's just awful.
Yeah.
Okay. On a somber note, back to what we were originally talking about. How have we managed our time working on this, the podcast, day jobs, acting, etc.?
I'm gonna do a 35-second tangent. Start the clock, and I'll be fast. So this is maybe a minute or two. This is what creatives, and I feel it's not even acting, it's anybody pursuing something outside of the conventional 9 to 5, outside of the conventional things that you have to do to, not even 9 to 5, but the conventional life you have to support the dreams that you want, creative, entrepreneurial, whatever they may be. People ask, how do you have a balance? And I genuinely don't think there is one. Like, I think it requires so much sacrifice. Sometimes that's sacrificing, like, you know, having a love life, like traveling, doing things that you want, like spending money on other things that aren't your other career, your creative pursuits. It's sacrificing your time, your energy. Like, you have to have a job to support yourself and to pay your to function in the world. And then you have to live in these cities that are expensive to pursue this career, you know, i.e. the creative industry, the entertainment industry. And it requires so much sacrifice, and people just don't talk about that. Like, there isn't a work-life balance. I think we get them later in life when we have done the work, but I struggled with this a lot because I was like, I'm so busy. And I'm not saying you should run yourself dry and like exhaust yourself. That's not sustainable.
And we did that, and that's not.
We did that.
It's not sustainable, and it doesn't end well.
No, it doesn't end well. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think you should be doing 30 hours of things. And, you know, like, I'm not saying that. But I am saying that it does require a lot of sacrifice that people don't realize how much it requires. And it's like, I feel like if you mentally prepare yourself for that and you build a life that's complementary to that level of sacrifice, you know, sometimes that's getting a remote job. Sometimes that's living in a city that's affordable and transporting, why can't I think of that word? Commuting to a city that is expensive. Like whatever it may be is like building a life complementary to this pursuit that you have, but really truly understanding that it requires a lot of sacrifice. And it just sucks. So
agreed. And to be frank, I don't think it's for everyone. Mm-hmm. I don't think, and you know, not that it means people are weak or undetermined, etc. Some people are, but but I just don't think it's meant for everyone, and I don't think people are built for it. No. Not in a positive or negative way. Some people are just meant to do that. Like I couldn't be a construction worker. I could not do that.
I couldn't be a doctor. I couldn't be a teacher. Like there's a lot of things I genuinely couldn't do.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why I don't do them.
I could. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a good or a bad thing. It's just not for everyone.
Yeah. And I think there's so much beauty in giving something 100% of yourself and then finding out that it's not for you and re-navigating. Like if you do everything, if you set yourself up to be a filmmaker or an actor and you do it, you dedicate your life to it years and years, and then you realize like, this is not bringing me joy. I think then it's okay to go in a different path, because like if you wouldn't have gone down that path, you would never know if this is something that you don't want, or it can help you like realign to something. Like sometimes on this journey, you can find something else that you enjoy more along it. But yeah, no, it's not for everyone. It's hard.
Yeah. And changing careers in life is normal. It's like,
it's very normal.
People should make on average, I think it's like 4 career changes in their life.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's very common. Damn. I was on Reddit actually today reading about this, and there's a girl that was talking about how she had just gone to, like, she was in her last year of med school. So that means she got her bachelor's degree. She took the MCAT. She went to school, like paid so much money to go to med school. And then she dropped out, started writing for a column, and then started working in the film industry. And it's just like your life, and this person that I love called The Love Drive, he is like a Substacker writer. He talks about how he followed all of these pursuits and it got him to where he is today. So it's like, yes, there's nothing wrong with like re-navigating, changing, and committing yourself to something because it puts you on the path you're meant to be on.
Yeah, Jimmy's already made one career change. She's not even 30.
Yeah, I thought I was going to live in Taiwan. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm just a weirdo who's known what they've wanted to do their entire lives. I'll probably do it forever. I'm very grateful for that. It's not normal, though.
I think I've changed my side jobs like a million times. But like my main job that I want, that one's been stuck. But I've changed my side ones. I'm probably on 10 by now. I've done everything.
I've had a million side jobs.
Yeah.
I was a server. I did mock jury. I did rover. I can't even count how many things I've done.
Yeah, you've done a lot.
Yeah. I took pictures of burgers all over Huntsville for some random company in Canada.
I remember that.
So yeah, the short answer is there is not really quite a balance. You just have to manage your time to ensure you get everything done, take care of yourself and your mental health. And it's not for everyone.
It's not. And I want to say too, this is the last thing and then I'm done. It's not for everyone. And sometimes people don't get you for building the life that you want. And like sometimes this life requires you to reschedule plans. Sometimes this life requires you to prioritize something that's not a relationship. Not even talking romantically, like platonically. And like I feel like a lot of things in my life have required that level of sacrifice. And it's just like, you know, like I mean, I invest in the people that I love and that I care about, but sometimes I don't get to see them all the time. And I don't get, you know what I mean? Like it's just, so surrounding yourself with people that get it.
Yeah, 100%. I actually wrote this like prose. I haven't shared, it's not like published or anything, but I wrote it probably a year and a half ago. And it's pretty much about how I go online and I see like these groups of people I grew up with who never left my hometown, which is a different conversation. But
yeah,
it was pretty much about like them looking at my life and like judging that and wondering why I do that. But then me coming back and being like, the people I once knew are still at the places I've already seen, and like how that wasn't meant for me.
Nope.
And it's like a complicated relationship where we will never understand each other.
Yep.
Yeah. That's like the most jarring thing. Like even just coming back to Huntsville for a few weeks and like seeing that firsthand for the first time, where I'm like, oh, everyone's still here. And I'm like, that's so weird.
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah. But
it's not for everyone.
I'm content being the weirdo.
I know, same.
Wouldn't want it any other way.
I'm just not like everyone. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
What is the Cole Sprouse thing from Riverdale? I'm not like anybody else. I'm not the normal guy.
So cringe.
Oh my god. That's all of us.
Yeah. I love Taylor Swift and I love Gossip Girl, so I am like a lot of other girls.
Yeah. Same. We have that.
Anyway, let's do our outro because we're about to run out of time. January's been rough, as we've discussed. Everyone's aware. But to end on a positive note, what is one good thing or a good memory you've made this month? Or a good thing that's happened to you?
Let me look at my notes.
When we were planning this, I said the first 7 days. That was the one good part of this month.
Okay, well, what happened in those 7 days?
Oh my god, let me just reminisce and it'll make me happy. In the first 7 days of this year, I was having a great time. I like cleaned my room, I cleaned everything. It was wonderful and lovely. And I was so organized. And on New Year's Eve, I had our friends over for a sleepover for a little party. And one of our friends introduced me to this app called Finch, which is like this self-care Tamagotchi. And like you can send your friends like good vibes on it, and like you can do to-do lists. So like I've been putting everything in that. And that first 7 days, I was on fire. I was getting everything done I needed to do. I was reading for 10 minutes every day. I was making my bed every day. I was doing everything I needed to do. I was going boxing. I was doing everything right. And I was living my best life. I was even posting on Instagram stories, which I never do, but I was doing it. And it was a wonderful 7 days. And I went to the beach a lot in those days, and I would journal, and I was doing my singing lessons, and it was just awesome. And I filmed 3 auditions.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we got a good start to the year.
And then it went downhill.
But we're gonna get back. We're gonna.
It better. It needs to hurry up. It better.
We're going to. Friend of the pod, supporter of the pod, follower of the pod. Scott is coming to LA in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
That's exciting.
I know, and I think that's the turn, Emily. We're gonna spend Valentine's Day together, all of us.
That's the turn.
Something needs to turn around. Hopefully I
Yeah.
can start my horseback riding lessons, regain some sense of sanity.
You're going to.
It's on the way.
Mm-hmm.
It better be.
It's going to happen.
I hope.
What about you, Cheyenne? Positive memory?
Well, off the top of my head, I signed with a new agent, which is great.
Yay.
Let's stand up.
I auditioned twice in December. Mm-hmm. And then last week I had like a hour-long Zoom interview / conversation with them, and then the next day they decided to sign me, so that's great. So I'm going into my move with representation, which is nice, and I really like those ladies. They're excellent, and to be honest, that's all I can think of right now.
I'm very proud. That's amazing.
Yay.
I'm very proud.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think mine is probably clown classes, though I am very scared. Oh, I'm very, 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 very scared. I'm very scared. And people are like, it's play, have fun. And I can't because I'm so afraid. When I'm meeting new people, and it's making me excited and scared again, which in turn is making me happy. Like, because when I first started acting, I was so scared to perform all the time. And then you overcome the fear. And I think nervousness is always going to be there. I'm not saying I'm never going to be scared. But yeah, I'm like, I think that doing the thing that scares me and then coming home at night, like proud of myself, is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've wanted to do it forever.
I know.
You've been talking about it for like 2 years.
I have. I've been really talking about it for a very long time.
So that's great. Good way to, all three good ways to start the year.
Agreed.
And it's,
agreed.
I feel like January is always rough. Like, I don't know.
No, literally, it's a thing. Like, for the last 3 years, I always have a family member die in January. Like, it's always the worst month on the face of the earth. It's always chaotic. I always end up booking something and then getting sick and having to lose the role. Like, this has been a thing for, like, the last 5 years. And that's why I'm like, every time January comes around, I'm like, I'm not getting excited for you because I know what happens if I get excited for you. I just act like it doesn't exist, and then I start my year in February.
I suppose that's one way to look at it.
This, I think this ties everything, a lot of what we talked about today, like the Seed and Spark, the like Brutalist, David Lynch, being creative. This is a Substack. I always add the T to the end of that. This is a Substack.
That's such a like boomer
Southern. I'm gonna get on that Substack. Substack. It's called Creativity Unstacked by Sherry Ning. And creativity is a word so overused. It's easy to forget what it actually means. But as a new year begins, let's reclaim creativity for what it truly is. Something beyond skill or intellect. It's about perspective. It creates great symphonies and novels, striking magazine covers, and memorable billboard designs. But it is also a mindset. One that dares to think differently, to step beyond what is expected. And I saw that and I was like, yes. And I think this is like a good culmination of like everything that we talked about today.
I love that.
I did too. I loved it. Yeah.
Well,
wanted to end on that.
On that note, thank you for listening to episode 26 of the Hags podcast. This felt good. I kind of like the bi-weekly.
I do too.
It feels better. It feels better. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day when we have a team. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Comment below your favorite memory from January and make it positive. And anything else you want to say. Yeah. Okay.
Trauma dump. It's okay.
Or vent. Tell us the tea.
Yeah, give us the tea in the comments.
Yeah. Yes. Give us the tea.
We want it.
Engagement.
We want to feel validated for our bad months.
Yes, please. Bye.